Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome to this week's Frame Your Best Shot, where we have to announce the winner. But to do that, we've got a very special guest with us today. Sal, welcome.
Thanks for having me.
Heck yeah. So just a little teaser of why Sal is here with us. He's doing a little something that handles business photography and is going to help us all make some money. But that's soon to come, so stick with us.
It's not fun being a starving artist, that's for sure.
Well, I can honestly tell you, sincerely, I think you are rad. We've had a blast with you today, so we wanted to grab you and bring you in here and have you actually be the judge of this week's Frame Your Best Shot. So, first of all, you're a judge for PPA, which is Professional Photographers of America, right?
Right. We went to their judging school, which takes you through really understanding what goes into a merited print, understanding how to judge a print, look at a print. I mean, ultimately, there's a lot of subjective pieces to it, but you still have to match the 12 elements. And I think your viewers who are entering the print competitions, that's awesome. They should continue to do that. That's how you get better as an artist. But they need to take a look at those 12 elements to really understand what goes into creating a piece of art versus snapshot.
Right. So I think viewers should understand that you aren't just liking an image because it speaks to you. You're actually keeping in mind all of those 12 elements that goes into judgment.
That's correct.
Okay.
I'm critiquing this image in a way that, as an artist, we can take a little personal. So everybody out there, don't take it personal. It's not. It's look at this as an exercise to make your art better.
Awesome. Very cool. Well, I think we should just dive right into the top 28 finalists.
Okay. So, I mean, these are the images you showed me, and a lot of good images here, but the three that jumped out, there were definitely three that jumped out at me.
Well, let's talk first about ones that, you were just going through them and you said, oh, look at this one. Oh, I wish they would have done that. Can you point some of those out?
Yeah, I want to jump to this image because there were a lot of things I liked about this image, but then as you drilled into it, it started falling apart technically. So,
really?
I want to talk to the maker here. There's a couple of things. You're going down the right path. You've got all these great lines of interest on this particular image. So as you look at this image, the way I judge an image for impact, right? Impact is one of the things we're looking at. This had some impact. You've got two people walking down a road. It starts sucking you into this image. Where are they going? What are they doing? So there's a little bit of a story there, right? And that's what you want. So kudos there.
Yeah.
But the post-production work on this, in my opinion, is just not at a professional caliber. So I'm not looking to offend the maker. It's an exercise in taking it to the next level. And maybe some of the things you can't see on the internet that we're seeing here is the blurring that's been applied really looks like it's been done. It just hasn't been done good enough. And if you look closely, you can see the gentleman's hat. There's a blur there that just doesn't look natural. In that field, it looks like there's spots that are more blurry than other spots, and I can't tell if they used the healing brush or didn't use it.
Right.
It doesn't matter. The point is, my mind is becoming distracted by the edit.
Right.
And that's the point here. So there was a great story here. The other thing I would have done to make this image just a little bit better is I would have stepped maybe a half a step to the right as the photographer, or maybe a full step to the right, and that would have created a little bit more separation between the two people walking down the road and that field. So it really would have created a line of separation.
Interesting.
There.
Cool.
And so, go ahead.
Are there any others that stuck out to you that are not in your top three?
Yeah, there was one more that stuck out to me.
Stuck out to you?
Stuck out, is that how you guys say it here in Idaho? I knew you guys would talk funny. All right.
He is sarcastic, and I like it. He gives me crap. He's giving me crap all day.
So this particular image really did stand out to me, and it's a great image. It's unfortunate we had to drop it to the top three. This is a very classical portrait. It's well lit. It's got great lighting, some Rembrandt lighting there. It's a great background. It definitely communicates culture. And if I were picking the top four, this would have been in the top four.
Yeah.
But I was picking we had to narrow it down to the top three. So I would encourage the maker of this image to definitely enter this in a international print competition. Again, it's very traditional, but I think it's definitely got some possibilities to merit.
Awesome. And was it her face that stuck out to you? Is it kind of an emotion? Out of the 12 merits, was it the emotion that stuck out?
No, it's a little bit of everything. I just think it definitely communicated culture. Okay, it definitely got me interested. It's unique in a sense that I personally have not seen a whole lot of images like this. I love her expression. Right, I wouldn't want to see her there smiling, happy, to be a Native American. So I mean, I'm definitely getting sucked into the image.
Right.
From that perspective, and it just looks like if I were this person, I don't know if she's a performer or whatever it is, but I'm sure she would love to have this portrait in her home.
Oh yeah. So before we go into your top 3, will you explain the 12 elements that you had to pass off as a judge? Like, talk to us about what you look for in a photo.
Absolutely. When we're judging prints, one of the things we're doing is we're looking at these 12 elements, and you can go to the ppa.com to kind of find them. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to look at impact. What is the impact of the image? How does it make you feel?
Right.
So it's very subjective. From there, you're looking at the technical excellence, so the quality. Are we overexposing whites? Are we losing black detail? Immediately, if you're blowing out highlights or losing shadow detail, your image is not gonna move on. It's not gonna get merited, as they say.
Right.
And then, of course, creativity, style, composition is huge. But these are the things that are going to take your image from just a snapshot to more of an award-winning type print.
Right.
And I encourage all photographers to continue to enter print competitions. What I see a lot of photographers do is they think, oh, I don't want to enter print competitions. That's they're pointless. They're stupid. No, they're not. They're actually the way you get better as an artist. You just got to be a little thick-skinned.
Right. Now, I think it's important to show our viewers these 12 elements of a mirror image because they ultimately are the first judge in our competition. They get to judge first. So take a look at this, and a lot of people who are like, why is he the judge, or why did he get to judge all these photos? Our audience, our viewers are the judge first. So I think that's so cool that you pointed that out to them.
Yeah.
So moving on to your top 3, do you want to show your top 3 here?
Yeah, let's show our top 3. So these are the 3 images that we narrowed it down to, and for me, it was just about impact. Some of these things really impact me. I'm going to talk a little bit about the positives and negatives of each one of these images.
Right.
But just because you add some negatives doesn't mean it's not a great image. It's all about taking it to the next level.
It is constructive criticism.
Yes, it's all with love, as I like to say.
That's right. And you're a New Yorker,
that's
so
right.
You've got to
We manage to make people angry no matter what we say. We could say good morning to you and you would think we had attitude, but it's not. It's all in good love. So this particular image, I do love it for a lot of reasons, and there's a lot of things that I don't like about it. I mean, my eye is immediately drawn to the jewels, and I'm immediately thinking about culture and the diversity. So a lot of this is what I'm not seeing as much as what I am seeing, which is what excites me about this image. So
it's a little bit mysterious.
Yeah, and the maker did a great job. I'm assuming they intentionally were drawing me to the jewels and not her eye.
Right.
And I like that. Normally I would expect to go right to the eye, but I didn't. I went right to the jewel, and I do like that. It's mysterious, all those things. That's the positive.
Right.
The thing that could have really made this a little bit stronger is, I've got this very, very distracting hair going right across one of the beads of jewel.
Oh, so your eye was directed to that hair rather than what was most important.
Yeah, it just really started distracting me. You know what I mean? It's a little thing, but it can make a big difference. And maybe just clean up her skin a little bit, right? I can see in the right-hand corner here just a couple of distractions, right?
So very simple post-processing work that would take away.
Yeah. You want to remove as much distraction from the image as possible.
Very cool.
That's the thing. As a judge, if you start getting your judges distracted, then suddenly they're not focusing on what you as the maker wanted them to focus on. So you need to tell us as a judge where you want us looking.
Cool.
And if where we're looking when we open our eyes is completely different than once we get involved in the image, that could hurt your score.
Fabulous advice. Love it.
All right. Next image here. I love this. I do love this image. I feel like this is just a moment where maybe the bride's getting ready, and I love how it was shot through the veil here, or whatever that sheer material is.
Right.
And I definitely love the treatment they put on this. Right. So it looks a little sepia tone, but not too much. And a very photojournalistic type shot.
And you can tell that it's a culture shot. You can tell that there is a different culture there rather than just a bride.
Right. You can tell it's definitely so much more than a bride.
Right.
And again, it's one of those things. It's what I'm seeing versus what I'm not seeing, kind of deal. And again, there's not much to go overly negative on. This is a great shot, great portrait, or a photojournalistic type shot. But there is a hot spot in the top right-hand corner of this image, right? And that's more than likely from the room light that's in the room. There's probably light going on in the room. And what I would say is to the maker, where exactly, and I know it seems like we're nitpicking, but at this level, that's what it's about. You are nitpicking.
Right.
Where do you want my eye going? And I guarantee you, you don't want me even looking at that hot spot on the ceiling.
So when we were looking through these at the beginning, you said, Melissa, close your eyes. Now open. Where does your eye direct you to?
Right.
So some people, it might be up because of that distracting spot,
right.
instead of at her beautiful face.
Right. It's starting to pull your eye out of the shot. Okay. And I wish I could, I wish I could crop on this because what I would end up doing is, actually there is a select tool here, and I might be able to kind of just give you a sense. Think about if you would crop this image down in here.
Well, yeah.
How much stronger would this image have been if I'm suddenly now just driving your eye? And we cut, what is the point of that ceiling?
Right.
We don't need to see it at all. Where do you want me going? Do you want me going up to that ceiling? Where do you want my eye wandering around? Once I'm inside this image and I'm looking at it, you kind of want me to stay in this little triangle area of the face.
Right.
And that is just kept wanting to pull me out of that picture.
Interesting.
Does that make sense?
Yes, okay.
All right.
Give us numero uno, the winner.
So the winner, in my opinion, was this particular picture. I just fell in love with this shot.
Now why? Tell me why.
Because
I love it. I don't know why, I just love it.
Yeah, and that's part of what this is all about, right? You don't always have to understand why you love it. I just immediately got sucked in. It just felt really, really cultural, very gothic, very, I love the dark sky. I just felt like I was getting sucked into this mood. I love the black and white on this. This would not look nearly as good if it were a color image. I really did get sucked into this image. I do love the composition. I do love the lines. It's very much a triangle composition. So you're looking immediately at that cross,
right.
And then you're coming down and you're seeing this beautiful structure underneath it, as the base and foundation of this image.
So this person understood how your eye works. Your eye works up and then moves down. Is that kind of how you transition your eyes?
No, you don't always have to go up and down or left to right, right?
Yeah.
That's up to the maker, and that's part of the intricacies of the image itself. Like sometimes you can compositionally, you can do whatever you like, but it's all about where's the eye going to go once it gets into your image. And for me, I'm gravitating right towards that cross, and then I'm working my way down and exploring the image. And this image managed to keep me in there for a long time. I'm just curious about a lot of things in the image. There's so many different details. So for me, this was the #1 image, but in the spirit of getting better and making your images stronger, there are a lot of things that could be fixed here as well. They're little baby things. It looks like there's a little sewer cap here.
Oh, yeah.
For drainage. Absolutely serves no purpose in the
image.
image.
Okay, but I didn't notice that, so that's how subtle it was?
That's how subtle it was, right? It wasn't distracting.
Right.
That's the key, but it could make the image stronger. So if you're entering print competitions, it's the difference between your image scoring a 79, which is not an award, or scoring an 80, which is an award.
Huh.
So it's those little things that are going to make the difference in this print. And so they did a great job in not losing any highlight detail. So notice there's no blown out highlights in the sky.
Right.
And you've got, from what I can see, you've got most of your shadow detail there. So they did a great job exposing this image. So immediately, it's gonna gravitate, start moving up the chain here.
Right.
But if they want to make it stronger and they really want to take this to the next level, there's 2 things they have to do to clean this up. One is get rid of that sewer cap there, and if you're going to submit this to a print competition, these people have to go.
Right.
They serve no purpose. This is a travel shot. This is where they would get dinged if they were entering an international print competition. Spend the time, remove those people, and suddenly you've got a piece of art to sell.
Wow, very cool, Sal. That is awesome advice. I love that you explained that so people can understand why photos are being chosen. Congratulations. We're going to send you a couple of lynda.com DVDs from Chris Orwig, some photography and Photoshop. So that will just help you on your way with your photography business, and congratulations. Awesome images to everyone. So, Sal, let's talk about next week.
Next week.
So, first of all, let's encourage people to be vulnerable. Let people dissect your work. What do you want them to do?
I want them to keep entering the print competitions. Don't get away. Don't get discouraged if you don't win. That's okay.
Yeah.
But for next week, I want us to do urban life. So that's the topic.
Urban life. Now, is that because you're like the Brooklyn boy?
I'm a native New Yorker, man. So I want to see something urban. I don't want country, landscape, all that stuff. Come on, man.
Okay, there it is, urban life. Sal, thank you for joining us.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Cool.